Welcome back to Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano, and let's spend some time getting real with money. As business owners and leaders, it is always about the bottom line. But what we need to do is make sure we are being smart. We need to start being accountable with our accounting. So, to talk with us about some things that we need to keep in mind so that we can work smarter and really be able to capture how we are investing our money, I am bringing onto the stage Noura Al-Masri. Noura, welcome to the stage. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you, Clara. So nice to be here. I'm really excited to be here with you.
Yes. Well, we got to talk about being accountable with our accounting. And you are an expert in this field. You have over 20 years of book counting and accounting experience. And I would love to ask you, let's start off with the conversation of why is it so important for us as business owners and leaders to really watch our accounting and have systems to help us be more accountable in those areas?
So you have to be able to measure your finances because cash at the end of the day is the king. Without cash, you cannot really run the business. It cannot be sustainable. A lot of businesses get out of business because of cash flow issues.
Mhm.
So if you're not doing your bookkeeping, you're not going to be able to know how are you doing with business. Are you spending your money wisely? What are you spending your money on? You're not going to be able to actually have tax planning. You're going to be finding yourself spending so much in taxes, maybe hiring when you cannot hire, maybe actually you're not going to be able to actually make informative decision. It's going to be just like by chance, and those by chance decisions are not the business decisions. So it's
Yeah.
not the place where you just like, oh, maybe this. You need bookkeeping
Yeah,
to
and
be able
again,
to decide.
when we start being haphazard, that's where we actually end up losing money because we aren't focusing on, again, how we're investing it in the right way. So I think it's so important, as you mentioned, about how we start to make those higher level decisions.
Mhm.
What are some of the most common mistakes that you see business owners and leaders making when it comes to trying to do all of this on their own?
So categorizing to the wrong category when this is the first step in bookkeeping, just like assuming an expense. Like, for example, this is what I see a lot of it. If you're having a loan, for example, a lot of them categorize that loan as an income. And guess what happened when you do that? You pay taxes on it. While you shouldn't, because this is not really income, this is money you're gonna actually pay back. Not only that, it should save you money because you're going to actually pay interest, which you can deduct as a business expense. This is very common, and unfortunately I didn't only see it with people who doing their bookkeeping on their own. I also saw that, and when people price shopping, they try to save money when they hire the accountant or bookkeeper, so they tend to have just anyone, like without really investigating if that person knowing what they're doing or not. So they came into this, like I've seen businesses actually owing hundreds of thousands of dollars while they're not making that much, just because like some of these mistakes, not understanding the software they're using. Because yeah, part of bookkeeping is actually knowing accounting, the other part is knowing the software. How does that software actually act? This is why I don't recommend for people who do bookkeeping to do just use multiple software. Just like learn one very good. And what I recommend usually for people, QuickBooks, just the reason because a lot of people use it and it's easy and it's always upgrading.
Mhm.
I don't use any other thing like in my firm, just because it's just like, if you want to change accountant, you have a lot of them who knows and actually will be using that. There's other in the market too. And in terms of reporting, you want to see like what type of reporting you want to see. So that's how you choose your software and know that software very well, whatever you're using. Nothing,
Mhm.
no bad or good, but this is just
Right.
my own recommendation. Not using a professional to do the bookkeeping, because you business owner, you have to focus on business, what you started your business to do, not to actually do your bookkeeping. It's boring, right? It's boring. You did not start the business for, and you know, when you start doing that on your own, you actually try to postpone that. Like, you're not going to do this in timely manner. And when you don't do it that timely, every month, every week, you're not going to be able to benefit from doing bookkeeping, because you're not going to be able to see the numbers. Therefore, you're not going to be able to actually take an informative decision. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is actually not doing their bookkeeping at all, thinking their bank statement is their bookkeeping, which is no, it's not. So I try to tell people this every time when they come tax time. Yeah, we have everything recorded in our bank. Okay, that's not bookkeeping. But yeah, so this is actually the most common I've seen with a lot of people going on.
Yeah. And I know when I started my business, I did a few of those categories. Again, you don't think about what's on the back end of those. And with the things changing each and every year, sometimes multiple times a year, you really want to make sure you're having that professional, because you might think you're recording something the right way and not realizing how it's coming to hurt you on another side. So again, I think it's so powerful to make sure that you have a partner in this like you, to make sure that we're looking at all these angles, because you're right. This is not our area of forte. So we need to bring in an expert like yourself. Now, one of the things that you talk about is real-time bookkeeping. So tell us a little bit about real-time bookkeeping and why that can help us.
So you need to be doing the real-time bookkeeping, you have to do it like every month. You have to be actually reconciling your bank account or your credit card account and everything, every cash account you have. If you have PayPal, Venmo, whatever, you need to reconcile all of these in order to make sure they match what you're recording in your bookkeeping system. And then make sure you categorize everything correctly, make sure the balances actually matches. It is important because sometimes you might catch fraud, right? Maybe like something you were charged for that you did not notice, but when you're doing your bookkeeping, okay, what is this charge? And if you wait until the end of the year to do it, then you're gonna most likely forget. And then you can just like, okay, I don't know, but this is business expense. Maybe it's not your expense. Maybe someone actually charged us. Maybe it can be an employee, maybe a fraud, like someone got your phone, your card number or your account number. So it's important to have that in a timely manner. Plus, you want to know how to actually make decision going forward. If you do not do this every single month, you're not going to be actually be able to use that as making those decisions, making sure that you're going to act directly, make a decision that's going to correct any mistake that happened, cut expenses if necessary, add a staff if necessary, based on your number. But if you're not doing that in a monthly basis, you're not going to be able to make an informative decision. It's going to be more based on emotions. I feel this is what I need to do. This is not facts. This is not numbers. So you need to be able to make those decisions, do your bookkeeping every single month.
Yeah. And I love how you're bringing it back to decisions. Again, as a small business owner, as a leader, we have to start thinking about, are we running a business? And again, thinking at that higher level. So really making sure that we're doing this so that we can make those well thought out decisions, so we can stay productive in everything we do. So Noura, where is the best place for people to reach out to you if they want to learn a little bit more about you, your services, or even just have some questions for you?
So they can actually book a call with me at nourasbooks.com. And there actually they can find all my social media, my YouTube, everything. And if they need to just talk directly to me, they can book a call under contacts, and we will talk on Zoom, and I'll see how can I help them.
I love it. Beautiful. Well, again, you've heard it here. You got to make business decisions with your income, and you got to be accountable to your accounting. So stay tuned. We'll be right back for more Be Productive after the short break.